Hey guys, Lazlo Bibbins here, coming at you with a gameplay commentary in the year 2017. Seems like no one does these anymore. And you know what? I kind of feel lazy doing them. And yes, I know my name's LazyPurple, but please don't comment that. Just please no more of that joke. Please. I only want to do commentaries when I really have something to talk about. And boy do I. See, I was going to upload another big TF2 project this week, but it turns out that everything's on fire. We're currently dealing with the Thomas Fire in California, which started about 5 days ago, I think. It almost immediately caused a blackout that stretched for hundreds of miles, so I definitely couldn't work for a couple days, but I thought that'd be it. I mean, the fire was hundreds of miles away from me, so what's the worst that could happen? Turns out that this is one of the worst fires ever witnessed in California, and at one point it was spreading an entire acre per second. I can't even imagine what that looks like. And it's not just one fire anymore. Thanks to crazy 70-mile-an-hour winds and dry conditions, there are something like 5 different fires going on right now, with one of them being 30 miles away from me. So, cue up that pyro gameplay, am I right? If there's any way to deal with the potential loss of all your worldly possessions, it's humor. If I'm gonna be the victim of natural disaster, at least I'm gonna get some content out of it. I had to pick up my dad from the airport earlier, and the same mountains that I've driven by 100 times before were totally burnt through. I've got some really awful footage here of it, courtesy of my dad's amazing camera work. It was so close to the freeway that we felt the heat as we drove by. The wind was so strong, driving along the coast, that these huge blasts of sand were being picked up from the beach and blasting my car. They were like sand ghosts, haunting the freeway in the night. It was not the most comfortable situation. But I'd like to paint a picture for you of what it's like to live in fire country. You might have heard about how often fires happen in California, but you might not know all the side effects. So what's it like having a raging fire 30 miles away? It's basically nuclear winter. The entire sky is just smoke. Everything is just smoke. It looks like fog on a camera, but the thing about smoke is that it causes this crazy orange discoloration. All day, there's just this ominous orange glow on everything. Pictures don't do it justice. Everything looks like it has a sepia tone Instagram filter on it. The sky is orange. The horizon is orange. Anything white looks orange. And to add on to the nuclear winter effect, by 4 p.m., the sun can barely get through the smoke anymore. It's pretty much nighttime by then. At 4 o'clock, like the days are 6 hours long. If you look up at the sun, it's almost always this horrible orange, or even worse, just red. Don't worry, it's just a picture. You won't hurt your eyes looking at it. And as if it couldn't be more of a nuclear winter, it is practically snowing ash. All over the floor, all over the cars, white and gray ash just keep piling up and getting into everything. I just opened my front door, and it is literally snowing ash. It's not a gradual buildup. It's visible. You can see it. It's impossible to exaggerate. This is not what I had in mind when I was dreaming of a white Christmas. Everyone outside is wearing breathing masks like they do in China. It's like this crazy apocalyptic Mad Max scenario where no one can breathe the air, everyone could burst into flames at any moment, and people just have to go to work still because maybe everything's gonna be okay. And the worst part is that it's not just this one fire that is the problem. Conditions are so bad across the coast in terms of how dry everything is and how fast the winds are blowing. It seems like at any moment, any city could just be next. It just seriously, unironically, feels like the apocalypse. I just looked outside the window again, and I can't believe it. It just doesn't look real. Which I guess is a great segue into my thoughts on the current state of pyro. Haha, it's funny, because if the winds pick up, my whole town could catch on fire. Alright, well, as many others have documented, the problem with pyro is that he is in a really buggy state right now. The back burner is a total mess. You can't see through the flamethrower particles half the time, and it seems like no one has a good idea of how long the flamethrower hitboxes last. But is pyro overpowered? Surprisingly, no. Honestly, I tried my hardest to only play pyro today to get a feeling for how powerful the flamethrower is, and I just couldn't do it. There were so many times where I knew that if I didn't switch to Demo Man, we were never going to make it past the checkpoint. Or if I didn't switch to Scout, I knew I'd never be in enough places at once to really have an impact. I never felt like, oh yeah, this is the perfect time to go pyro. There are still 101 things that pyro cannot do, so I'm definitely not going to be calling for some kind of direct nerf. What I would love to see is that they fix all this buggy garbage surrounding pyro and then tune up the thermal thrusters so that pyro can have an actual mobility option. See, I say pyro's not overpowered, but I'm not stupid. I know that this is what people have issues with. 3 kills. See, this is the eternal struggle for any class in any game that can succeed without aiming. No matter how much positioning it requires, no matter how many interesting abilities the character has, someone, somewhere, is gonna feel cheated when they die to it. I have felt this feeling hundreds of times dying to Pyro. Oh, you know, he didn't even have to aim at all. How is that fair? But until Pyro somehow becomes stronger than, say, Scout, I'm not gonna worry. And that day is far, far away. Hopefully when the TF2 team sorts out all these kinks, Pyro will feel more consistent and people can focus on outplaying Pyros instead of wondering how they die to them. That's really all I have to say on the matter. And if you have been affected by these fires or a natural disaster, my heart goes out to you. I just checked and 190,000 people have been evacuated. That's crazy. If you feel compelled to help these people, you can literally just Google donate California fires and Google will handle it for you. Like, they just provide a button. It's pretty impressive. I don't mean to trivialize what's going on. I'm just hoping that this is another lucky day for me and it's just a near miss and I can keep working on videos. If everything goes alright, my next TF2 project should be out real soon. So stay safe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Here's another video for you. And if you really enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell.